At approximately 1:50 p.m., not yet having authorization from CPB, and noting the extreme urgency of the situation, I notified General William Walker that I should have approval shortly and that we had an urgent request for the National Guard. At 2:10 p.m., I finally received notification. Freaking light. I finally received notification from Mr. Irving that the CPB authorized me to request the National Guard. Okay. However, as explained below, I soon learned that our request would also need to be approved by the Department of Defense. Meanwhile, at approximately 1:50 p.m., U.S. DCP resources dispatched to look for other possible explosives located another pipe bomb at the Democratic National Committee headquarters. They planted it themselves. As well as a vehicle with explosives and a weapon, all within close proximity of the Capitol grounds. As a result of these explosive devices, extensive USCP resources were dispatched to the scene, and 2 congressional office buildings had to be evacuated. I believe all of this was part of a coordinated plan to attack on the Capitol. Was part of a coordinated plan related to the attack on the Capitol. At 1:51 p.m., I activated the Metropolitan Washington National Council of Governments Mutual Aid Agreement, requesting assistance from the law enforcement agencies from the National Guard region, from the National Capital Region, or NCR, and NDC region. As a result of this request for law enforcement assistance, we had over 1,700 officers from 18 law enforcement agencies respond to assist the U.S. DCP. I worked closely with Assistant Chief Thomas and Deputy Chief Pickett to establish resource management to account for and deploy the officers from the responding agencies in the most effective and efficient manner. We also established priorities for the responding officers, which included 1, securing the perimeter and foundation of the Capitol, and 2, assisting the USCP in removing unauthorized persons from the Capitol and conducting a top-to-bottom sweep of the building to ensure no unauthorized persons or hazardous devices remain in the building. These goals were implemented as quickly as possible in order to facilitate the safe and expeditious return of the members of Congress to complete the certification of the electoral votes. For Joe Biden. You rat bastard, you. In the command center, I could see that the USCP and MP... Yeah, you were mad that people were winning. Yeah, you did notice the terrorists with the bombs. And that's cool. But you yourself are also very glowy. In the command center, I could see that the US DCP and MPD officers were fighting with all they had to protect the Capitol building. No, to protect the traitors inside the Capitol building. Former chief of police. You were fighting to protect the traitors. The seditious rat bastards who were in the process of certifying the election for the CCP because they were under the control of a foreign power. You rat bastard, you. I saw officers hit with pipes, wooden sticks, flagpoles, and sprayed with mace and bear spray, all while trying to defend themselves against projectiles being directed at them. The mob was violently and ruthlessly attacking law enforcement officers in an effort to breach their lines. The officers fought courageously against the violent attackers for over an hour before any individuals in the mob were able to breach the Capitol building. No, they let them in, though. No, this guy is a liar. They let them in. They maced most of the protesters there, right? The vast majority of the protesters got maced. I got maced. I didn't get maced directly. I got maced in my eyes from the drifting clouds, and that shit burns. Okay. All we wanted to do was get inside and see that and just watch these treasonous rat bastards for our own selves. It's not like we don't know that that Washington, D.C. is a subsidiary of the Vatican. It's not like we don't know. We just wanted to see for ourselves what these worthless rat bastards were doing with our country. Okay? At some entrances to the Capitol, law enforcement fought with the mob for hours to prevent them from accessing the building. As the crowd was attempting to breach the building, our dignitary, devoid of dignity though, protection division teams prepared to evacuate congressional leadership. USCP assigned to the House and Senate chambers secured the two if you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to fear. If you, however, you have something to hide from we the people, then you have something to fear. Okay? Then you're a treasonous rat bastard traitor to your country. And you don't work for us. Yeah. As the crowds, the USCP assigned to the House and Senate chambers secured the two locations. As the crowds breached the building, DCP attempted to secure the hallways and prevent the mob from advancing further into the building. The USCP initiated evacuations of the two chambers, and USCP officers began to move members of Congress to safe locations. Like little bitches. Let's get this straight. If you hadn't certified the election for fraudulent Joe, you would have had nothing to fear. There would have been no need for cops. There would have been no fighting. But you decided to go ahead and give the election to the cheating candidate. So I have no mercy. I have no pity for you. Get screwed. Okay? Maybe he's saying all of this to appease Pelosi. She don't deserve to be appeased, though. Okay? So clearly, the former chief of police is a rat bastard. The former chief of DC police is a rat bastard. Okay? To safe locations because they are rat bastards. At approximately 2:28 p.m., I learned that in order to get authorization for National Guard support, the Pentagon needed to approve the request. I therefore asked to participate in a conference call with Dr. Chris Rodriguez, DC Homeland Security and Emergency. Yeah, that's DC Homeland Security. Homeland Security for DC, not for the United States. Not for this Republic of the United States. Okay? Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency. Chief Robert Conti, Metropolitan Police, General William Walker, D.C., National Guard, and Lieutenant General Walter Pyatt, and Director of Army Staff. During the call, I again made an urgent request for immediate National Guard support. I explained that the National Guard was needed to shore up our perimeter to help secure the Capitol. Lieutenant General Walter Pyatt stated, "I don't like the visual of the National Guard standing aligned with the Capitol in the background. I would much rather prefer to relieve U.S. DCP officers from their posts so they can handle the protesters." I urgently advised that this was not an option and that I did not have officers to swap with National Guard and that I needed assistance immediately. Lieutenant General Pyatt stated that he was prepared to brief the Secretary of the Army and that his recommendation would be not to support the request because she's not a fascist. Maybe Lieutenant General Pyatt recognizes that the people had every right to be there on Capitol Hill to hold their politicians accountable. All right, so he didn't like the optics of being seen as an out-and-out Nazi fascist. Unlike the former DC chief of police. All right. Chief Conti then stated, "So you are denying the request from the Capitol Police, quote unquote." Chief Conti then asked me, "Steve, are you requesting National Guard assistance, quote unquote?" To which I stated, quote unquote, "Yes, I need immediate assistance with National Guard at the Capitol. I do not have the option to swap out officers on checkpoints," close quote. Lieutenant General Piat then indicated that he was going to run the request up the chain of command at the Pentagon. Oh, so he is a treasonous rat bastard. Almost 2 hours later, by 4 p.m., we still had not received authorization from the Pentagon to activate the National Guard. Bah! Dr. Stenger offered to have Senator McConnell call the Secretary of the Army to expedite the request. I concurred that this would be a good idea. McConnell, Mitch Bitch McConnell, Bitchy McConnell, Chinese, hooked up to a Chinese wife McConnell, hooked up to a Chinese female McConnell, hooked up to a, sorry, not Chinese, hooked up to a CCP glowing glowing infiltrator, interloper into American government McConnell. We still had not received authorization from the Pentagon to activate the National Guard. Mr. Stenger offered to have Senator Bitch Mitch McConnell call the Secretary of the Army to expedite their request. I concurred that this would be a good idea. I followed up approximately 20 minutes later to check on the call and expressed the need for leadership to call in expediting the request. The first 150 members of the National Guard were not sworn in on Capitol grounds until 5:40 p.m., 4.5 hours after I first requested them, and 3.5 hours after my request was approved by the Capitol Police Board. I still cannot fathom why in the midst of an armed insurrection, oh, I hate this guy, which was broadcast worldwide on television, it took the Department of Defense over 3 hours to approve an urgent request for National Guard support. By late afternoon, we were able to reestablish our... I don't know why they even showed up in the first place. Those cops should have never been there. They should have been there to provide security for us going in there. Okay? By late afternoon, we were able to reestablish our perimeter with the assistance of MPD and the responding law enforcement agencies. We then methodically cleared the building, establishing the security of both the building and the House and Senate chambers. At 5:36 p.m., yeah, they purged the House and Senate of we the people. Okay? At 5:36 p.m., I briefed Vice President Pence on the current security posture, after which he initiated a call with you, Speaker Pelosi, and I advised you both that the chambers would be safely reoccupied by 7:30 p.m., after which they went ahead with their treason and certified China Joe as the winner of the 2020 election. Because piss flows toward the sky. Okay. At 7:30 p.m. I also participated in a conference call at approximately 6:25 p.m. with congressional leadership that included you, Senator Schumer, Senator McConnell, and Representative Clyburn, all worthless. Okay. During that call, I briefed the group on the current security posture of the Capitol and the ability of the House and Senate to reconvene in their respective chambers and complete the certification of the Electoral College votes with the Vice President. Senate leadership decided to reconvene at 8 p.m. and House leadership at 9 p.m. What occurred on January 6th cannot be considered under any circumstances a protest, a rally, or civil disobedience. Oh, really? You're a liar. Lying little swine pig. This was a well-planned, coordinated armed insurrection at the United States Capitol. The USCP does not have the manpower, the training, or the capabilities to handle an armed insurrection involving thousands of individuals bent on violence and destruction at all costs. No, we were bent on stopping you goons from certifying Joe Biden. We were bent on stopping you goons at Capitol Hill from certifying fraud. You pig demon. Nevertheless, because of their bravery and professionalism in the face of this attack, U.S. DCP officers prevented the mob's actions from resulting in more bloodshed and carried out their mission to protect the traitorous rat bastards, members of Congress, and the legislative process. Contrary to what others have said, the USDCP did not fail. There are many heroic stories of USDCP officers that day that helped to ensure the safety of the worthless members of Congress, including 2 officers who lost their lives in defense of traitorous rat bastards. The sham of democracy prevailed on January 6, 2021, in large part because of the courageous actions of the United States Capitol Police. This does not mean that we should not look at this day and identify areas for improvement. With the benefit of hindsight, I acknowledge that a number of systems broke down, all of which can be rectified with more resources, better training, updated policies, and accountability. Where's our accountability, you worthless swine? Oh, that's not a question you're ever going to answer. Of course. Of course. That's why you didn't speak to Matt Gaetz. You didn't speak to Ted Cruz. You didn't speak to any of those people. Did you? Pig. I also wish we had had better intelligence and warnings as to the possibility of this type of military-style armed insurrection. The entire intelligence community seems to have missed this. In addition, this incident has demonstrated that going forward, the USDCP needs more unilateral authority to implement its security planning and the ability to call in National Guard support when needed. I can hear the leather just creaking as his chaps just creak to and fro. Leather, thick leather. Steps need to be taken to ensure National Guard's ability to support the USDCP is seamless in the future. Given this new concerning shift in the threats facing the United States Capitol and its members, Congress needs to seriously consider the physical security of the campus and other security protocols. Every aspect of planning for such an event in the nation's capital and likely elsewhere must be reconsidered anew. Finally, I must add that I wish that before placing the blame on the USDCP and on me as the chief of the breach of the Capitol by an insurrectionist mob, more consideration would have been given to the impact of incomplete information provided by intelligence assessments, the denied National Guard request, and the subsequent delayed approval for National Guard assistance. Again, I do not believe that the U.S. Capitol Police failed, greatly outnumbered and against tremendous odds. I really hate this guy. Really and truly, this guy is a pig. A globalist, fascist, treasonous, traitorous, Chinese puppet rat bastard. Insane. But he's giving his perspective, treasonous as it is. We are the people of this country and we were born here. We voted Donald Trump. Everybody, 98% of the people in that crowd voted Donald Trump. We expected our elected officials to obey us. not to go about making up things of their own. But that's exactly what they did. And that's exactly what this pig over here, what's his name again? Stephen Sund. That's exactly what this pig named Stephen Sund, that's exactly who he was protecting. The rat bastards. Greatly outnumbered by we the people and facing tremendous odds due to their treason, they kept the rat bastard cactus heads, the members, safe. I truly regret my early departure from an agency and a mission I so cherished, working with the women and men of the USDCP, sworn and civilian rat bastards, and serving the congressional community was the highlight of my 30-year in law enforcement career. Please feel free to contact me. I will do anything I can and everything that is requested of me to help ensure that an attack like January 6, 2021 never happens again. I stand ready, willing, and able to assist in any effort. So let's see. All of the worthless scum that this letter is to. Sincerely, Stephen A. Sund, former Chief of Police, United States Capitol Police. CC, Honorable Steny Hoyer, United States House of Representatives. Representing China, not the United States. Honorable Kevin McCarthy, United States House of Representatives. Honorable Chuck Schumer, United States Senate. The Honorable Mitch McConnell, United States Senate. I cannot stand treasonous rat scum. I don't know what else to say about these people. They are absolutely out of their face. To claim that they were facing insurmountable odds that there was no need for them to face in the first place. Truly, these people are the true traitors. These are the true terrorists. These are birders. Stephen A. Sund is a birder. Steny Hoyer is a birder. Kevin McCarthy, Chuck Schumer, and Mitch McConnell are all birder. Okay? You can all burn in hell. We had every right to be at that Capitol building. You had no right to impede the will of we, the people, your bosses. Yet you had the nerve and the audacity to stand guard around these senators. Everyone that was in there certifying Joe Biden has committed a hanging offense. Okay? Treason is punishable by death. And I call for it. Who has the balls to do it with me? Are you pissed off that they stole this election? Are you pissed off that this guy, Stephen A. Sund, was protecting, was coordinating the effort to defend traitors against this nation? Should he not have a penal code attached to his name? A criminal code? Whatever you call it. Should this slime not have a what do you call that thing that Obama and Brennan and all of them have on his name, have on their names? Because I think they really need to be under the jail. Okay? Really need to be deep under the jail. Lord, you have given us the blessing of being born on American soil. Yet we are cursed with people like Stephen A. Son, Steny Hoyer, Kevin McCarthy, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, and Nancy Pesklosi. We are infected with a virus of traitorisms. Purify this great country. Clean this great and powerful country. Living Lord, grant we the people victory over corruption. In the name of the living Lord of hosts, Selah. And Trump won that election. I'm voting for him. If he runs again, I'm voting for him. I'm going to make Democrats' worst possible nightmares come very real. We're going to do this right. We're going to do it legally. And we're going to give the Democrats everything they fear the most.